請到大家嚟到我哋 Out of HoCHK嘅一個課堂。咁 Out of HoCHK係啲咩嚟嘅咧？咁初認識嘅朋友咧，可能唔係太認識我哋嘅。咁我哋咧有4個宗旨嘅。咁第一咧就係希望推動咧全香港嘅人，包括你嘅爸爸媽媽、爺爺嫲嫲咧，都認識編程。另一方面咧，我哋希望推動咧就係大家互相學習。咁咧就係將一啲想學 coding 嘅人同一啲想教 coding 嘅人拉埋一齊。咁第3個咧就好重要啦，個 mission 啦，就係 train the trainer。咁原來你咧都可以成為一個小導師嘅喎。咁透過唔同時間嘅參與咧，你就可以去將自己所識嘅知識咧教授其他人。咁過程當中咧，自己嘅增長咧都會好大。咁我知道今日咧有好多家長都喺度。咁我忘記咗自我介紹啦，我係 Dr. Ray 啦。咁我咧喺城大教書嘅，咁就寫程式咧寫超過我諗30年㗎啦。咁所以咧同大家一齊。咁希望今日咧大家學習嘅過程當中咧，都能夠同啲爸爸媽媽一齊去分享多啲，好唔好啊？咁你見到咧，我哋喺過去喺香港嚟講咧，我哋喺2014年開始搞 Out of HoCHK 㗎啦。咁今年咧已經進入我哋第9年啦，已經。咁你見到咧，我哋曾經咧就搞過一啲活動咧，包括就係啲親子活動啦。你見到有啲親子嘅活動啦，咁亦都有啲長者啦。你見到相中嘅爺爺嫲嫲、公公婆婆咧，全部都70歲以上嘅。咁呢個係我本人啦。咁早前我哋喺海關啦，咁原來今日好多海關少年警訊好多都一齊做啦。咁另外我哋有做一啲老師嘅 training。咁所以咧時間關係咧，咁我就唔再講啦。咁嚟緊有個預告片咧，就係希望你哋一齊參與。我哋好快咧就會喺會展咧就會再搞呢個創科博覽。咁如果你想成為一個小導師喺會展幫手嘅話咧，咁記住喺今日課堂之後咧就報名咯。咁事不宜遲啦。咁所以咧希望大家咧就記住呢幅圖啊。今日原來咧你去聽書咧只係學到10%。如果你能夠去多啲參與討論咧，或者你去教授其他人咧，你就可以將個知識咧就可以吸收得更加好啦。咁所以事不宜遲啦，今日咧我哋咧就好高興咧邀請到我哋南拔附屬小學嘅 Kingsley 同埋佢嘅團隊啦。咁包括有好多，我唔逐一記低個名啦。咁一陣間咧我會喺最尾咧就每個名咧就逐一讀出嚟，多謝大家。咁我記得有 Micah 啦，有 Jenkin 啦，有Micah 啦，有好多同學仔嘅，有Jaden 啦。咁我呢位咧就先停一停。事不宜遲啦，我相信同學仔咧都好想學多啲嘅，咁所以咧我就將個時間咧交俾今日好得意嘅一個課堂，講緊呢個太空嘅飛機嘅宇宙大戰啊嘛。咁我將個時間交俾阿 Kingsley 啦，唔該晒 ，thank you。
係，咁我係 Kingsley 啦，咁今日就會教大家點樣喺個 Scratch 嗰度做 Earth Invaders。咁喺呢個 lesson 開始之前咧，就介紹一下今日嘅 helper 啦，有 Marcus、Jenkin、Carrick、Cyrus、James 同埋 Micah。咁如果你哋有問題嘅話，你哋可以喺個 chat 嗰度問啦，或者你哋可以舉手，或者你可以咪講都得嘅。咁我哋呢啲 helper 就會幫你。事不宜遲咧，我哋就開始今日嘅 lesson。咁我會用翻英文去講翻。So today we're making this Earth invasion game in Scratch. So Scratch is a programming language that is for beginners, and it is quite easy to learn. Now, here is my game right here. Now, when I press the green flag, you'll see that I can use my mouse pointer to move my player plane. So it points towards the mouse pointer direction, and then it moves very smoothly. I can also press the space button. I can also press the space key to shoot these red bullets, and it can destroy these enemy planes flying down from the sky with a pretty cool waveline, and that is the cosine waveline I'm going to teach later. Today, we're also doing some other cool stuff like if-else statements. We've got clones. We've got XY. You can see a whole bunch of code right here. There's variables, key events, repeat and till loops, everything. So we're going to cover a lot of that. So without further ado, let's continue. Now, please do not spam the chat. Please type in the chat unless you have a question. So let's do this. Now, what you want to do is first go to Google. Now, open a Google or your browser. Then when you get a Google, you want to search for Scratch. So Scratch is an online website. So go to Google and search for Scratch. I'm sure most of you have used Scratch because I think CS lesson has already talked about that before. So go to Scratch, scratch.mit.edu. Go, yes, I see somebody has already typed in the link in the chat. So it's for web browser or for any device. So that's pretty good. I don't have web browser. So do you have Google or something like that? Like if you are using like iPad, there's Safari and something. So Internet Edge or Firefox or anything. So if you have an account, then please sign in to your Scratch account. I know a lot of you also use the offline edition because I think like the teachers recommend you to use the offline version. So you can also open your offline editor. So if you use your offline editor often, then just use that. Or if you have a Scratch account in the online version, just sign in. Now feel free to click on the Join Scratch button, and you can also create your own account right now. So if you can get into your account or get into your offline edition, then please press 1 in the chat. Now I see somebody said open Scratch 3 or Scratch 5. Wait, is Scratch 5? What is Scratch 5? Is there something called Scratch 5? No. If you have an offline editor, then please open the offline editor. So there's the Scratch offline editor right there. Or you can sign into your accounts and get to Scratch and sign into your account. If you don't sign, it's fine. You can also create a project by clicking this button. However, you can't save the project. So if you can, yeah.
咁呢度我停一停打斷一下嗱，咁我咧就set 咗一啲breakout room 嘅，咁我咧就停一停個 share screen，咁 make sure 大家咧都跟到。咁而家咧我哋咧就喺個大班房度係啊，咁我哋嘅大班房度好多同學仔啊，有100個人。咁一陣間咧我已經開咗間房仔㗎啦嚇，咁如果一陣間有同學仔需要幫手咧，話舉一舉手，咁我哋咧就會有我哋嘅 tutor 啦，我哋好多 tutor 會喺度。咁如果你需要幫手，只要你舉手咧，咁我就會放你落去啲 breakout room 嗰度，咁咧就可以幫手。幫完手解決咗啲問題咧，又翻嚟出嚟㗎啦。OK， 咁啊事不宜遲啦，咁我將時間交翻俾 Kingsley， 有問題可以舉手，唔該大家。Please go ahead.
Thank you. So let's continue. I'm going to share my screen. Now I see somebody isn't using Mac. What computer are you using, or what device are you using? If you're using iPad, then it should be Safari. If you have Scratch add-ons, then you can use Scratch add-on. It's okay, HP computer. So which like Safari or Chrome or HP 佢應該有一個標籤嘅 Google Chrome. Okay, so let's continue now. I'm gonna paste the link in the chat once more. So click on that link, and if you have an account, just sign into an account. If you don't have it, it's fine. After you get into Scratch, I think somebody has raised their hand.
Yeah, Kingsley, I have a question.
Yeah.
Earlier you just said that if we didn't make a Scratch account, we would still be fine, but wait. I don't understand, but I thought that if you didn't make a Scratch account, I thought the project would not be saved, right?
Yeah. So that's the problem if you don't have an account. So you can also make an account by pressing the Join Scratch button.
Yeah, that's the problem. Thanks.
Okay. You can use turbo warp. You can use anything. If like I know you guys have a lot of Scratch experience already because I think it's time grade 4. So if you are using turbo warp, offline editor, everything, if you use Scratch add-ons, you can use that. Now we have to continue. So let's go. Now I have a link right here, and this is the sprites link. Now I'm gonna copy and paste this link in the chat, and you guys can paste this. You can go and copy and paste this. Control Z, Control V, boom, and then you will be brought to the Earth Invasion sprites. So again, if you don't have an account, then you can't remix. So you'll just have to go to see inside and code it together. Now go in the chat. I have the links. You can copy and paste or just click on the link. After you do that, I'm actually gonna change the sign right there. You guys don't have to follow me because it's going to be all in that thing.
Sorry to interrupt. I create a breakout room for Jaden Jaden and Jenkin and Isaac. Please go ahead and join the room if needed. Okay, please go ahead. Thank you.
So let's continue right now. So one more thing is that if you need help, you can like say about that, and you can go. I will assign you in breakout room, and then you can go and ask questions to our helpers just now. You can click on link. If you can't click on the link, you can double tap to copy or just use a copy and paste everything. Okay. Now, again, you can, I'm going to send the link in the chat again. And after you press it, you will be brought to the Earth Invasion sprites right here. Now, if you press the green flag, you won't see anything. It's just a regular plane and nothing else. There's also a universe background. Now, because if you go to see inside, then you'll see that there's no codes in any of these sprites. So we're going to do the coding today, and we're going to learn the code. So let's do this. Now, there's two buttons, remix and the see inside. So other than see inside, there's a remix button. So click on the green remix button. And you'll see project save as a remix, and boom. If you don't have an account, you can't remix. So you'll go and press see inside, and you can code. So I see somebody has a question.
I can't see the remix button.
So if you're not signed in, if you don't have a Scratch account, then you can't remix. So you can just press see inside, and then you can code. It's basically just the same thing. Yes. If you don't have an account, just click on the blue see inside button.
OK，我想打斷一陣。頭先我入咗一個 breakout room 嗰度幫咗有位同學仔手。咁我見而家都有多咗同學仔幫手。咁我留意到我哋啲 tutor 咧，其實我 assign 咗佢哋落去個 breakout room 嗰度，但係啲 tutor 就冇入到去。咁所以我想啲 tutor 留意翻自己個 position 係啦。如果 assign 咗你 breakout room，你要入去幫手好嘛？咁我哋而家開始見到啲同學仔 account 嗰度有啲 issue 要處理一下咁樣。不如咁啊嗱，我而家就做一樣嘢 ，make sure 大家可能未用過 breakout room。咁我而家咧我就停咗啲 room 先，我想所有同學仔咧都試一試 breakout room 係點用嘅，因為我估計可能大家都唔係好知點用。咁我而家咧就想停咗佢，咁我咧就做一個 random 嘅動作，係啦。咁我試一試，想所有人都入一個 breakout room， 然之後出翻嚟，我想做呢個動作嚇，好唔好啊？咁我哋而家嚟咯嚇，唔該晒，好唔好 ？OK， 因為我見大家唔係太知道點用個 breakout room 嚇，咁樣樣嚇。因為呢個都比較緊要，因為嚟緊課堂，而家我哋只係 create 緊個 account 咧，我哋遇到少少問題，但係嚟緊一間呢個 exercise 咧，將會有好多好好玩嘅動作嚇。咁我哋而家咧，我就會開個 breakout room，咁我咧就會邀請大家咧就去，我開10個 breakout room 啊，咁大家咧就 random 入去嘅 ，OK， 咁我哋一齊入去啦，唔該晒嚇。大家練習一下個 breakout room 點用啊 ，make sure 大家都知點用嚇，咁樣出翻嚟 ，OK， 唔該晒。好，我而家開嗰啲 breakout room，大家可以入得噶啦 ，OK， 唔該。係啦，大家入去自己嘅 breakout room 做一做嚇，跟住入完去之後知道點入，跟住出翻嚟，係啦 ，OK， 嚇，係啦，咁我哋 expect 咧，一陣間我哋有間大房就上堂。有啲細房咧，就大家啲 tutor 就入去幫手 debug 嘅 ，OK。好啦嗱，咁我哋咧知道點做啦，係嘛？大家都知點做啦嚇，啲 breakout room 識用啊嘛，係嘛？我仲見有啲同學仔未 join 喎嚇，咁 make sure 大家都 join 個 breakout room，知道點用，跟住再出翻嚟啦，係啦。我哋而家見到每間房大概都有10個人啦 ，OK。好，大家都知點做啦，係嘛 ？OK， 好，咁我而家咧就閂翻晒啲房啦 ，OK， 唔該晒，好。咁呢好重要啊！一陣間我哋大家都會遇到啲問題嘅，咁我哋留意翻係啦。OK， 非常好啊！咁大家都知道個 breakout room 點用啦，大家 OK。好，非常好啊！有少少叻㗎嘛，正常嘅嚇，因為我哋有100個人嚇，等一等係啦 ，OK， 好。係啦，咁我再提一提所有嘅 tutor， 大家留意翻。請所有 tutor 咧喺個名前面加個 T 字咧，喺個 rename 字嘅喺個名前面加個 T 字咧，咁我知道你係助教嚇。咁我陣間會 assign 你落去嗰啲 breakout room 嗰度。唔該晒。好，有請阿 Kingsley 再重新 share screen 再繼續。唔該晒。好啦，有請 Kingsley 可以繼續啦。Kingsley 出翻嚟未咧？
係，我喺度啦。
好，唔該。
你哋係喺嗰個link chat 嗰度咧，係咪見到條 link？咁你哋入咗去之後咧，有 account 就 remix， 冇 account 咧就可以撳 see project page， 都可以一樣 code 到 ，it's the same thing。OK。咁我哋就去你哋如果 remix 到個 project 或者入到去呢個 coding 界面，就請你喺個 chat 嗰度打個2字啊。OK， 有用翻英。
Brian 你可以入去 breakout room 1。Brian can。Please go ahead。
Ryan 你係咪舉咗手？你真係有問題，咁就應該可以入到去個 breakout room。OK， 好，咁我哋繼續啦。咁大家都識完 breakout room， 我哋就可以繼續。因為有問題，你舉手咧，Doctor 就會send你喺一個 breakout room， 咁就有tutor 幫你㗎。咁我哋繼續啦。你哋可以停止去打 just stop spamming for a while. Stop spamming for a while. My chat is like, OK。咁我哋就繼續啦。你哋去到個 coding 界面。So when you get in the coding environments, you first want to go into the player plane sprite. Go into the player plane sprite. So there's a sprite tab right here. You can see a sprite tab right here. Here's all the different sprites that we're going to use today. And the first one is going to be the player plane. So get into the player plane sprite and go to the events. category. So there's the code category in the left side and go into the events category. So there's motion, looks, sound, go into the events category. There's multiple blocks, and the first block is a hat block, and it's called when green flag clicked. Now drag the when green flag clicked into the coding environment right here in the middle, and you have your first coding block. Make sure you're in the player playing sprites when green flag clicked. When green flag clicked, under events, go to control forever loop. Drag that forever loop and put it into the coding environment. Now, I think all of you know how to put that, connect these together is simply just to drag this and then snap it together. When green flag click forever loop. Now, you have the when green flag clicked and the forever loop connected together. Make sure it's connected together like Lego blocks. After that, go to the motions. The motions is the first coding category. It should be blue, in the color of blue. Now, if you scroll down a bit here, you'll see point towards mouse pointer. So just drag that over. Put it into the forever loop. So put that point towards mouse pointer in the forever loop. Now, when you press the green flag now on the stage, entire stage, you can see that our player plane is now pointing to the direction of our mouse pointer. Because we have a when green flag clicked, then when we press the green flag, it'll run this code right there. And then it's connected to a forever loop, and it runs the point towards mouse pointer code forever. And that means that when we press the green flag, every time the player plane will point towards our direction of the mouse pointer if we spin it around. Now, if you can do this, then click free in the chat. Press free in the chat. Okay, so I see that everyone has is spamming free. Seriously, just stop spamming for a while, please. Okay, good. There is a bunch of frees. I think it's good to go. Let's continue now. When green flag clicked forever loop and point to its mouse pointer. However, if you paid attention to the original Scratch project, you'll see that our player plane is in the bottom and it follows our mouse to move around. To further understand how XY works in Scratch, you guys don't need to follow. I'm just gonna switch the background to the XY. Now, you guys do not need to follow. You do not have to follow. I'm just showing you what the XY grid is. Now, you'll see my XY grid in the screen right here. There's the X0, Y0 in the middle, the center. And then there's the Y. There's a Y of the vertical and X of the horizontal. Now the X is the horizontal and it's going the right way, that is 100, 200, and then the maximum is 240 for the limit. And the left side, it's going negative, it's decreasing. So the max is negative 240. Somebody has a question. I think Koji iPhone. So I'm gonna send this. Okay, so if you have any questions, raise your hands, and then Dr. Ray will see it and then put you into the breakout room. Now let's continue. Now there's the XY grid right here, and the left side is like the X is decreasing, and the right side the X is increasing. And then for the Y is the horizontal line, and if it's going up, then it's increasing, and for the Y it's decreasing. Now we have a basic understanding of how it works. Let's continue coding in the flare. First, let's set our flare plane so that it's always in the bottom and it won't go up and down if we add in a move steps. So you can see that the horizontal, the vertical line is the Y value. So we'll be using the Y. Now, because Y is decreasing, you want to set it to bottom, and Y is decreasing down here, it's negative. So let's go to the motion, scroll down, and you'll see the set Y to something, something, something block under the change Y, something, something block. So let's grab that set Y to block and put it under the point to its mouse pointer. Now, let's set the number to negative 140, and that's neatly set in the file. When you press the green flag again, you see that the player plane is in the Y of negative 140. However, our player plane is not moving horizontal. And according to this chart, we have to use the X. Now, scroll up, and because we already set the Y value, we don't have to use the X again. And we can just use the move steps. Now, again, the first motion block is move 10 steps. So let's drag that over. Let's put it in the middle, in the forever loop. Move 20 steps. Now 10 is a little bit too slow, but 30 is a little bit too fast. So I'm gonna set it at 20. Again, you can set the numbers right here to something you like, experiment with the numbers, but just don't change the set Y, because okay, somebody needs the project link. I'm just gonna very quickly send that. Okay. So there's a scratch link again in the chat. And then, so let's click the green flag, and now you can see that the player plane is following our mouse pointer without any delay. It's moving pretty well. So it's quite smooth, and yeah, the Y is always at the bottom. Now, please don't change this number. So when you change this number, so something like 100, then it's just gonna go up. So I recommend setting it back to negative 140, because that's the best number for our plane for the bottom. And there's also the move 20 steps right there. So you can try to change it. You can change this number. 15, it's a little bit slower. 25, it's a bit faster. So you can always you can try to experiment with the numbers, but I think 20 is the best in this case. Now I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna close chat, because I want everyone to react when I ask you guys if you're done. Now, for the XY, I'm just gonna delete that, because we're not gonna use that, because we're gonna use in that nebula. Now, if when you press the green flag, you can now see that our player plane is moving quite smoothly, just like this. If you can do this, please type in the 4 in the chat. 4 in the chats. So please do not spam. Please do not spam. So if you are done, then you can just press the 4 one time, just one time. Not everyone has a BP computer.
Yep, I would like to mention that we have one breakout room started, and one of the students is there with free tutor. So if you need any support, just raise your hand and make sure you join the breakout room, because when we open and close the breakout room, there's a 1 minute cooldown period. So that's why make sure you join the breakout room. If you raise a hand, we will assign you to a breakout room. Thank you.
However, if you run the project again, I've seen a lot before, so I'm going to continue. So, however, if you run the green flag again, you can see that it's working quite unexpectedly for the plane. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's lagging. It's crashing. It's crashing the game. So this is really cursed. Yes, we don't really want that to happen. It's pointing at all directions, and if you have your mouse pointer downwards, it's just pointing downwards, and it doesn't make any sense at all. So if you love this one, then you can just use it. You can just use that. But if you don't want that to happen, you can go back to clear plane and do some more coding. Now, we're gonna use if statements. So I think everyone knows what if statements is. It's just basically the if conditions. Now, go back to the control segment of our code section right here. So one more question. If just now, because I said it was using the space key for the bullets. So if you're using iPad, I'm gonna teach you how to use your touch screen so that you can shoot. Okay, let's continue now. But that's for later, and let's continue. Now, go to control and under forever, that's an if statement loop. So just drag it inside the forever loop.
Yeah, gentle reminder, Jamie and Austin, please join room 1 and room 2. Carrick and Jenkin is there for you. Thank you.
So now, how do we make it? So how do we make it so that when our player plane doesn't go downwards and looks really cursed? Now, there's a really easy method with the if statements right there. So firstly, there's the direction. So this is the direction, and in Scratch, if you're pointing up, then it's 9. So it's 0, sorry, it's 0. Now right here it's -40, and on the right side it's 40, and then it goes up, and it goes to 90, and then it goes to 180, and then it goes to negative, something like that. Now we want to have a border, so I'm gonna set it to -40 for the direction, and also the 40 for the direction. So let's do this. If go operators, the green filter of our code segments, operators, if drag that over, so it's the smaller than operator. It should be hexagonal, and you can put it into the hexagonal loop in the if statement. If our direction is smaller than -40, go to motion. And then you can go to or point to in direction. So point in direction, the block, point in direction, put it into the if statements. Now you see that these are just random numbers and they have no meaning in this game. So we have to set it to. Scroll down and you'll see the direction block. It's kind of like an oval, and you can put it inside the first statement right there. So put it in. Now, please don't just type in direction. Don't do that. You're not doing that. If the direction is smaller than -40, so our limit is -40 for the negative side, for the left side of our player plane. We'll point in the direction of -40 too. So if it's bigger than -40, like -41, then we'll set back to -40, just like that. It's gonna be the same for the 40. So if the direction is bigger than 40, then we'll set the direction 40. So I see somebody their games their project's crashed. If you have to remix again, then you can press the link in the chat. I just typed it 3 times for no reason. Definitely not copy and pasting it. Then you can use the copy and paste because that's really useful. So for this trick to work, you basically have to right click your mouse and on iPad, so whatever. Now, if then statement, right click, press duplicate. It's the first offer right there. So just drag it over, put it below the if statement. Again, right click, duplicate. I'm not really sure how you can do the right click in the iPad, so I think I'm just gonna search it up for you. So it turns out you can you just have to press one finger on the screen and then hold it for a second or two. So you don't have to move, just hold it. Just hold it. Yes. So somebody else already said it. You can just hold it for a bit. And then you can see there's the duplicate, and then you can just click on it. After you duplicate the blocks, put the you have to click really long. So if the direction is bigger than 40, where I'm gonna put it. Okay. If the direction is bigger than 40, now make sure this time it's not using the smaller than, it's using the larger than. So you can find the larger than in the operators, and then you can drag out the larger than. So, but if you have scratch add-ons, you can just basically right click and then you can set it to the similar ones. So it's really useful. Well, if you don't have scratch add-ons, just go to operators, drag out the larger than. It's right above the smaller than. If it's larger than 40, just set the direction of 40. So it's a barrier around -40 and 40. That's the space of the direction you can use for our player plane. Okay, so when you press the green flag now, I'm gonna just do a full screen. You can see that if you're pointing downwards, it's not gonna point down. So instead, it's just gonna yeah, it's not gonna go down. It's just gonna it's not going to go down. So now the barrier is between -40 and 40, just like that. So that problem is fixed. Use the code, and if you can do this, press 5 in the chat. Also, please do not spam the chat. So if you can do this, press 5 in the chat. Now, one of the reasons why it's lagging, please stop spamming. If you're done, then just click 5 one time. So if you have a question, wait, there's a cooldown. So it's normal for the plane to be lagging. Personally, it's because maybe your computer isn't really useful for handling large student meetings, because today we have basically 116 of these participants. I see someone has a question, but Dr. Ray, how many cents?
Yep. Jenkin is there to station. So let me look after. So don't worry. I think some of the students already tried the breakout room. It's quite useful. Okay. So please go ahead. Okay. Just raise your hand. I'll be there. Learn HoCHK. I'm looking for you now. Thank you.
So if you have a question, raise your hand, and Dr. Ray will assign you to one of the breakout rooms, and the helpers will help you over there. It's kind of useful if you have a Zoom. So if you're using a Zoom. Okay, and so that's useful. Now, I think almost everyone, yes. I think a lot of people's computer is lagging, including mine, because it's Intel Core only i3. However, if you have like RTX like 3080 and have a beefy computer, it's going to be no problem for you. However, it's quite hard to handle this Zoom meeting. That's why some people's Scratch projects is lagging. So if you want to try refreshing, please make sure that you've already saved your project. After saving your project, you can go and try to refresh and try to make your game less lag. After this, I think everyone has finished the player plane code. So now let's move on to the enemy plane. So there's a bunch of sprites, and we'll be using
Kingsley, why don't we take a short break here? So let's see if most of the students can get to this point. If student you need any help, you can consider to raise hand, or we can have maybe 3 minutes short break here. Kingsley, what do you think? Yeah.
Okay.
有冇同學仔需要 share screen 㗎？有冇啲咩問題可以同一時間即刻做 ？OK， 大家咪都做到啊，都好 smooth。哦 ，Ryan， 我哋見到 Ryan 需要幫手 ，OK， 見到 Ryan 同埋Jeremy，OK， 好 ，OK，good。咁Casper 都係3個啊，咁我哋啲 tutor 唔該各就各位啦嚇，請你去 breakout room 啊，咁我而家就擺大家落去啊 ，OK。 Okay, Kingsley, you can continue. Okay, I will look after the free students. Thank you. Yeah.
So everyone, please try if you can do this now. If Dr. Ray sends you a breakout room, then please join it. So our tutors can help you inside those breakout rooms. Now, once you press the green flag, you should be able to move your player plane like that. So if you can do that, press 5 in the chat and let's move on.
Right.
Press 5 in the chat if you can do this. Okay, I guess we'll continue. there's some questions how to save. Just press save now. File, save now. But if you don't have an account, you can't save it. So that's one of the bad things of not having an account. Anyway, let's go on to the enemy plane and continue coding. So let's do this. Firstly, you want to go to the events and move the one group that clicks over. When green flag clicked, again, the control loop and forever. When green flag clicked, forever loop, click on myself and drag that inside the forever loop. Then go to the control. The first block is wait something seconds. So drag that also into the forever loop. Now wait 1 second is a little bit too slow for me. So I'm gonna do like 0.4 or something like that. So you can just experiment with the numbers. Now, if you need help, feel free to raise your hands and Dr. A will assign you to the breakout rooms. Now, all these blocks are found from the control section. So there's forever loop, the create of my clone of myself, and the wait seconds. Now, somebody's raised their hand. So Dr. A, please assign the breakout room.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Jenkin is looking after.
Okay. Now we've got all these stuff, all these codes. First, the green flag, nothing. Not even a single enemy plane spawned. We can only see the clones slowly increasing. However, they're not showing. We're at 35 clones, 40 now, but they're not showing now. That's because we haven't shown the enemy planes. So we'll have to continue coding. Now, what we want to do is not to control our original sprites, because we are creating the clones and we want to use the code for these enemy planes. So go to control, again, scroll down. Now, other than the critical of myself, there's 2 more blocks that's related to the clones. When I start as a clone and delete this clone, these 2 blocks are going to be extremely useful. When I start the clone, is basically going to start the code for our enemy planes. So drag or when I start the clone into our scripts. So when I start the clone in some new free space, Scratch generates each infinite space in the programming section. So you can make it harder by making it 0.1 sec, but that might be too much, a little bit too much. But you can experiment with the numbers later. When I start a clone, we'll go and go to motion. Now we'll first have to set its spawn points. Kind of like any programming language you're using. Now for the motion, there's this go to XY. And let's drag the go to XY, snap it to the when I start a clone. Now there's 2 gaps, one for the X and one for the Y. Now for the X, it's going to be the random horizontal input, and for the Y, it's going to be just above top. So for safety measure, then we'll just set the Y to 300. So we're making sure that it's spawning at the right top. For the X, let's go to the operators. set the pick random and drag the pick random over into the X value. Go to X, pick random something the same thing, Y to 300. Now, it's not 1 to 10, and let's set it to about negative 200 to 200. So go to X, pick random negative 200 to 200, Y 300. Or you can just use it 180 because that's actually the high limit. But I'm just going to use 300 for safety measure. Then go to looks. Most important part is the show itself. So go to looks, scroll down, you'll find the show. So drag the show and snap it over under the go to XY block. It's normal for you not to see them in the plane because if you haven't snapped the show block onto the one when I start the clone from the looks category, it won't show. When you click the green flag again, you can barely see the legs of these sprites right spawning on top. Then we'll have to make them rain down. So we're going to use a repeat until loop instead of a forever. Go to control, scroll down, and you'll find the repeat until loop. Drag the repeat until loop and put it below the when I start the clone, snapping. It's inside the control loop and it's below wait until. So try to find this. You can scroll around until you can find it. If you code it in Scratch for a long time, you know all the blocks positions. Control, repeat until. Now, why are we using repeat until? Well, our enemy planes will fall down with the vertical input, and it'll go down -12 each time. That's 12 pixels down for the Y input. Once it reaches in the bottom, then it'll go and despawn with the delete this clone. Let's do the coding. Go to operators, which is the green one, below sensing. Drag out the smaller than, put it inside the horizontal. Put it inside the hexagon shape thing. Repeat until something is smaller than something. For the first one, we're going to be using the Y position because the Y position is the vertical. So go to motion. If you remember, above the direction we just used, it's Y position. So drag that Y position and put it inside the first. Then for the second one, we're going to do smaller than -170. So it's basically reaching the end of the screen for the Y value. Repeat until Y position is smaller than -170. We'll change Y by -3 so that it's raining down. In the motion, you can also find the change Y by something block right below the set X. Drag that change Y and put it inside the repeat until. However, it's set to 10 at first. So we'll be using negative. So I'm just going to set it to -3 because it's going to be too fast if the number is bigger. Now, finally, go to control and you can find the delete this clone for the last block of control. Snap it under the repeat until. Again, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand and Dr. Ray will send you to a breakout.
Yeah, the lesson is going very well now. I think the breakout room features has been adopted using quite smoothly. If you enjoyed the lesson so far, you can put a reaction like a thumbs up or claps in the Zoom. So let us know. Okay, let us know. Okay, thank you. Yeah, good job, Kingsley, and all the tutors.
Okay, so here's the code for now. Right there. So if you finished this, press the green flag, and now you see the enemy planes raining from the sky. However, there's a few bugs. The first bug I'm gonna solve, the first problem, is that in the demo, where's the demo? In the demo, you'll remember that the enemy planes fall in the really cool cosine wave. Now, right here, you can see that the enemy planes are pointing at our player plane, and they're moving in a particular wave that looks really cool instead of that boring dropping from sky rain. I'm gonna show the code right there. So, but if you finished this part, then please press 6, and then you can press 6 if you finished this part. Now, again, if you did this, you get the enemy planes falling from the sky according to the wait 0.4 seconds. So if you set it about like 0.2, then it'll spawn faster. So it's kind of like changing a number and all like that. If you want to set it undraggable, just go to the sensing and set draggable to not draggable. That's a small feature, but I'm not gonna really add that. So I'm gonna wait for a while for everyone to type in the code. And if you have any questions, just raise your hand and Dr. Ray will assign you to a breakout room.
Yep, have to let all of you know that we have 3 breakout rooms ongoing now with a 3 students in the breakout room being supported at the moment. Thank you so much.
So I've seen a lot of people that want to share their Scratch project. So let's get on with it. Now, let's first make the wave, the really cool enemy plane wave I just promised you guys earlier. In order to understand how this math works, I'm gonna go and use a PowerPoint. I think it's called PVCX. So a PowerPoint. Now, here's the cosine explanation. Now you see this is the cosine wave form. Now you see that it's actually a wave from 1, -1, 1, -1, 1, etc. I've got a little animation in the PowerPoint to show how it works. You see the enemy plane going down, going up, going down, going up. This is what we're gonna do. It's gonna go to -1, go into a +1, and go into -1, just like that. It's a really cool cosine wave. Now press escape, and there we go. Now, let's go back to our code. There you go. Now, in order to make this cosine wave form, we first have to make two variables. Now, if you guys don't know what a variable is, it's basically a changeable variable that you can change, and then it can store letters, numbers, anything. So go to the variables, make a variable. The first variable will be called angle. Now, there's two options, for sprites and for this sprite only. Make sure to select for this sprite only. For this sprite only. Select for this sprite only. Angle for the sprite only. Okay. If you set it correctly for the sprite only, then it'll show enemy planes angle. If you don't have this enemy planes angle, that means that you haven't set it to the for the sprite only, and you have to make the variable again. Now, we have to make another variable, times. Make a variable name, times. This variable is going to make all our enemy planes unique by using a pick random. I'll show you how later. Again, for the sprite only. So it's only for this sprite code. For the sprite only. Okay. Make sure for the sprite only. So we'll have a enemy planes angle, enemy planes times. If you've done this correctly, you'll see this on the screen. If you accidentally deleted all your code, I think you can revive it. You can go to edits and then we can restore. So see, now I've accidentally deleted this this part of the code. Go to edits and then you restore. After you press restore, the code will be back. There's another method, so you can go and right click, and then you can undo. So if you accidentally deleted all your code, I'm just gonna delete all my code right now. And then after if you accidentally deleted all your code, press right click undo or do Control-Z. That's basically something so that you can replace your code. So press Control-Z or right click undo. Somebody in the chat also mentioned, yeah, undo. Use undo. Then we'll use these two variables into use. First, set angle. Drag the set angle from the variables right there. Put it inside the when I start the clone, sandwiching between go to X, Y, and the show. First, set angle 2. Inside, right, this number, we're gonna use a pick at random. So operators, and then you can see the pick random 1 to 10. So drag that over. Or you can just simply copy and paste it from the X1 we just made. Pick random, -200 for the first one, 200 for the second one. sorry, 0 for a second one. So pick random, negative 200 to 0. That's our first variable. Second variable will be times. Set, where can I see their set angle thingy? It's in the variables. Control Shift T. That only opens your old browser, your old window. Let's continue now. For the times, we're gonna use you go to the variables section again and drag the set times. Set times 2. I'm gonna use the duplicate function again. It's really useful. Pick random 150 to 180. 150 to 180. You can find that in the operators for the pick random, or you can find it right here. Now, if you want to player plain code, I think one of our helpers can help you. So just raise your hand, and then Dr. A will assign you to a breakout room. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand. Yes. So if you need to see the code again, just raise your hand, and Dr. A will send you into a breakout room.
Yep, Austin Zhang, please join breakout room 2. Marcus is waiting for you. Thank you.
Let's continue now. Now let's go into the VPN2 where we put these variables to use. First, motion and point towards something. Grab the point towards and put it in the VPN2. Point towards the mouse pointer, but we're not pointing towards the mouse pointer. We're pointing it towards the player plane. So player plane. So I'm gonna drop down. Point towards player plane. Go to variables. Change angle by something, and drag that over to the VPN2. Point towards player plane, change angle to by, let's say, -3. If you have any questions, please raise up your hand. Okay, let's continue. You don't really need to set undraggable, because when you go into the full screen, you won't be able to drag it. You can't drag it in full screen. You can only drag it in this, and it doesn't really work. Also, we'll overcome the dragging problem later. We'll overcome the dragging later. So we don't need the undraggable. We don't need to use the undraggable loop. We'll have something to counter that. We'll have something to counter that. We don't need to use this one. We don't need to. Let's continue. Set X 2. Find set x2 in the motions category. Set x2. Now we're going to use the cosine, but where do we find cosine? Go to operators and scroll down. You see absolute of this block, absolute of. Drag it inside the set x2. Set x2 something. But how do we set the absolute to cosine? Well, if you've noticed, you'll see a drop down and you can select cosine from it. Cosine of angle for variable. However, if you remembered, it's only going to go 1 and then go to -1, and that's not enough. So we'll have to times it by times, or I'm going to say multiply it by times. So operators, multiply by times. Multiply block, the multiply block is from the operators, and the times block is from the variables. Put the cosine of angle into the times right there. Put it into the set x2. Set x2, cosine of angle, then times, then multiply by times. Finally, the moment you've all been waiting. Let's uncheck these first. We have officially made the enemy planes do this really extremely cool cosine. It's super dope. It's really cool. It's actually really cool. Doge. So if you can do this, please press 7 in the chat. So here's the code. Just copy the code right now. And if you want to find the green green blocks, it's from the operators, and if you want to find these orange ones, is from the variables. So these are variables stuff. So I also recommend everyone to do a little test of making of your own special version. So I'm just gonna wait, and yes, so please do not spam. And here's the code for it. So if you can't follow, you can just simply raise up your hand, and Dr. will help you. So here's the code, and you can copy it.
Yep. We are seeing more hands. Don't worry, we have 6 breakout room. The tutors are ready. Thank you. Please wait.
So let's now continue now. Okay, so we'll have to continue right now. Okay, so we've got the speed and random levels. Okay, good. So the final thing we have to do is the blitz, and then we're done. And if we have time, we can do a little sharing section and how to add in the sound effects. So Rico, if you have some problems, you can raise your hand and you can go into the breakout rooms. Let me set. There we go. Let's continue now. So go to the bullets. Rico will return to the upper one later. It won't clone, yeah. Just go here and use the create clone myself in the forever loop. It's from the control section. Let's continue. So go to the bullets, right? Right here. Now there's nothing in the bullets, right? So it's the final piece of code. These are the final codes that we have to
Okay, Kingsley, I think now we are seeing around 10 hands. Okay, why don't we have like a mass debug session here? So let's have a 5-minute debug session before we move forward. Okay. Yeah, student, if you got invited to join the breakout room, you can join. But I think before we go to the next step, why don't we take a look at the students some common problems? Okay, because we see 10 hands here. Okay, the Viles and Avis, Matthew, Benky, yeah, Kingsley, right? Yeah. Anyone want to share screen and give us your problem? Yeah. 大家 OK 可以 share screen 嘅嗱，邊個同學仔遇到問題可以即刻 share，我哋一齊處理好嗎？嗱，咁樣都好有趣啊！呢個叫 common debug session，OK？ 唔該晒 Kingsley 啊，咁我哋睇睇佢哋遇到啲咩問題啦。Please go ahead.
Negative 170. There you go. Negative 170.
OK， problem solved，OK。
Okay.
Next one. Okay. No problem. Yeah. Try to read and follow. So can you enlarge the fonts? And then we try to see the common problems. 咁其他同學仔一齊幫手
Oh, cosine of angle times multiply by times. Cosine of angle is right there. Then multiply by times. Oh yeah, and if you received the breakout rooms invites, please do that. So please join the breakout.
It's okay. I closed the breakout room for a short while because I want all the students to be in this main room and join this overall the big debug session. So this is also a good exercise. Okay， 同學仔一齊 debug 啊，睇下大家遇到啲咩問題。下一位嚇 ，next one. Okay, so next one, yeah. Anyone who want to show your screen, make sure you hide your personal data.
Yeah. So you can share your screen right now. Okay, so they're going in a straight line. Go back to the enemy planes. You can go back. Just go back to the enemy planes. So there's it's the same problem. It's literally the same problem. Cosine of angle 10 times, not cosine of angle times. Yes, and then you can put the cosine of angle. Yeah, cosine. Yes. No, not like that. Cosine of angle. Put the angle into the cosine. Yes, and then put the cosine into the first blank.
Yes.
And then put it back in the set X.
Correct. Okay, I think
Finished.
Okay, good job. This is
I think a lot of people also have this problem. So if you have the cosine of and then you have the brackets angle times time multiplied by times, you can change that. And it won't be going in a straight line. I see somebody who shares. So let's see. It's the straight line again. Okay. Oh, it's pick random negative 200 to 0 for the angle. Negative 200 to 0 angle. Negative 200. And then that's it. Then you can run it again.
Yep. 咁留意翻啦，頭先我見到好似阿 James 話 share 唔到 screen， 咁我哋呢個 Zoom 係所有同學仔都 share 到 screen 嘅，係啊，你見到而家大家都 share 緊 screen 啊，所以係 share 到 screen。
Okay, let me see. So negative 200 angle. 200. Why are they all in that position? My arm got. Angle. Oh, it's plus instead of multiply. Find multiply in the operators. Multiply this one. Single goal, because that's what it is in the computer. So cosine of angle times multiplied by yes. Yes, and then put the cosine of angle, the whole thing, inside yes. Remove the plus and then remove the plus. Yes. No, you only grab the whole. You need to grab the whole thing. Yes, like that. Okay. Press the green flag. Okay, finished. Boom.
處理咗解決咗，堂仔可以隻手放翻低，我哋睇睇仲有幾多人排緊隊，好嘛 ？OK，get together。OK，thank you, Kingsley. Please go ahead. Or other tutor or other student, if you see what's the issue, you can let us know. Okay.
What's the issue? What's the issue? Okay, can you run the project and see what's the issue? Can you run the project? So what's not good? What's the problem here? What's the problem here? What's the problem? The broken plane. Oh, just click on this button and it's fine. Click on the hide. Is it okay now? I think it's okay now. Okay, anyone can share the screen?
Yep. Just wait a second. I noticed one student mentioned about the TA left the breakout room. It's because I stopped the breakout room. I want all of you to join this debug session from Kingsley. That's why the breakout room stopped. Okay, it's not because of the TA. It's because of me. Okay, thank you. It's okay. 好啦，咁我哋再睇睇仲有冇其他同學仔需要 debug 嘅，我哋再多3分鐘嘅 debug session 就會 get back to 我哋原先嘅進度啦。仲有8個同學仔舉一隻手，係咪不斷有人好似喺度 share screen 有個 whiteboard 啊？邊個同學仔喺度 share 緊個 whiteboard 先？暫時唔好停。OK， 好，咁如果冇咧，如果冇人 share， 咁我哋就停㗎啦。我再 call for share screen. Anyone want to share screen and ask for help?
What's the issue here? What is the issue? Oh, they're not spawning. Can you go up? Can you scroll up? It's not creating. It's not showing. -200.
Oh, Y300. Y300.
But come on, reload. Don't reload because if you reload, you'll lose all your progress because this is not saved.
It says go to X, and then the first pick random, it should be Y180 instead of 300.
It's Y300. No, it's 300. It's actually 300. It's okay. Wait. Can you run it again? It's not normal.
No, going below should be safer because it won't spawn when it can't spawn when it's Y300.
No, it's correct. Repeat. Oh, wait. Why is it repeat? It's repeat until. It's repeat until. It's using repeat until. So just go to control. Go to control. And then use the repeat until. Yes, this one. I think that works. Come on, send me. Oh, okay.
Wow, that's very good. Okay, good job.
Wait, what is that? I don't think that's supposed to happen.
I think it's okay. Let the student explore. It's not a good idea to tell the whole answer. So we are learning the debug process. Okay.
Yeah, it's free.
Okay. 好，咁啊，同學仔繼續啦。我哋俾多一位同學仔 share screen。OK。
Oh, I already see the problem. You can you just put it right there.
I don't think he can follow the code because he didn't do the player playing, like, the crunch and the parts.
That's not even done yet.
I know he can't follow. That's why that he like messaged me. Yeah.
The crunch one wasn't even done yet. It's not even done yet.
Okay, so if that's not the case, why don't we just follow the lesson and continue? Remember, we are not going to finish everything within one lesson.
No.
Yeah, so let's continue to explore how much we can. We are going to end the lesson, let's say we extend for 15 minutes. We're going to end the lesson today at 4:15, okay? So let's continue, Kingsley. Thank you.
Okay. So we have to move on to the blitz, whether you finished that or not, because we have to continue. Now go to the blitz sprite. Go to the events when green flag clicked. Control forever. Now the bullets don't just spawn for no reason. So to fix that, we'll use the if statement. So under the forever loop, that's the if statement. So drag that over and put it inside of forever. When green flag clicked, forever loop and the if statement. If key space pressed. Now where do we find the key space pressed? Under controlled sensing. So go to sensing. Now you see the key space pressed. So basically just drag it over. Now, if you remember, I've mentioned how you do that in the iPad. Oh yeah, and if you have to go, if you have another lesson, then you can go now. So we've got a key space pressed. So how do you do that on iPad? Here's how you do it. Now, under the key space pressed, there's the mouse down. So drag that over, and you can replace the mouse down with the key space. This one, iPad's mouse down. Computer, you can use the key space pressed. So for what does mouse down mean? Mouse down simply means holding down on the screen. Key space is just key space. So I'm just gonna use key space because I'm using a computer right now. But if you're using a iPad, then you can just use mouse down instead of this. So you can change this. Let's continue now. There's no sound in the game, so let's spice things up with a pew sound. Go to sound effects, go to sound right here, and you see that there's a sound pew I've built in. So that's the pew sound. I hope you guys can hear that. No. That's the pew sound. So track the start sound pew, put it in the if statements. Then we want to create the clone of myself for spawning. So control, create clone of myself. Then wait 0.1 seconds. So if you want it to be slower, then you can do 0.2 or something like that. Faster, 0.05, something like that. Now when you press the green flag, you can press the space key. There's the U sounds, but you can't see the bullets spawning. So that's loud, yeah. So let's go to control and use the when I start the clone. So when I start the clone, we first want to set our bullets to the player plane. So motion, go to player plane. Go to player plane. So there's this drop down in the go to. So if it's random position, just set it to player plane. And you can find this in the motion. Then you want to show it. It's in the looks category. When I start a clone, go to player plane and show. Then go to control under events category and then repeat until. Use the repeat until again. This time, instead of the Y position smaller than negative 170, set it Y position bigger than 170. Operators, well, that good. Repeat until Y position is bigger than 170. Go to motion. Its Y position is right, if you remember correctly. Repeat until Y position is larger than 170. Change Y by 12. So 12 is a positive number, so that works. So what's the code logic behind this? When a bullet gets to the very top of the screen, then they'll despawn with the delete this clone. I'm going to code that later. If we're not reaching the top, we'll still go up. Finally, control, then delete this clone. Make sure you don't put it inside the VPN2. Put it outside of the VPN2. Just select afraid of the bullets. Wait. Sorry. Just gonna make it softer. Okay, there you go. So, first the green flag. There you go. However, they're way too big. So let's set the size to 30 or something smaller. Now, press the green flag, and now they're way smaller. So here's the code, and if you've finished this part, please press 8 in the chat, and then we'll move on to the final thing. 8 in the chat if you can do this. Please don't spam the 8. 最尾一個 step.
係就係打靶嘅。同埋自己都會打。
It went sideways. Did you say X or H? Wait, what do you mean X or H? So you can't go to straight line. Dr. Ray, please put him in the breakout room.
Yes, Jenkin is in room 1 with Frankie. Please go ahead. And Jared and Austin, please wait.
Please do not spam it. Please do not spam it. So if you need help, just still why is it in a straight line but not like this? Can you share screen for one moment? If you want to see the player playing code, just go to breakout room. See, okay, there's a method. I can try to screenshot this.
Kingsley 啊，我哋今日個堂去到答2度啊，留翻5分鐘，我講少少 out of code 啲活動，好嘛？唔該晒。
So we have to continue because we're on to the final step and we don't really have any time left. So let's go to the enemy planes. And right here, repeat on 2. So go back to our enemy planes and then repeat on 2. We're going to be using the if statements. First one, control, if, sensing, touching, bullets. So if the enemy plane is touching the bullets, start the sound crunch, control, delete this ground. Then, if we're touching a player plane, stop all. Press the green flag now, and you'll see it. The enemies are getting destroyed when the bullets hit them. And yeah, it's pretty loud. And when the enemy planes touch our player plane, the game stops. That's basically the game there. Also, just now you guys said about the draggable thing. Now, if you try to drag it, it'll keep it in the same position. So right there, drag it. It's there. It's the same. So that's also fixed. So that's the end of today's lesson. If you can't do this, then please press 9 in the chat.
好啦，嗱咁啊，今日咧我哋個課堂咧就好好啊，上咗1個半鐘，咁啊先恭喜所有同學仔咧，就今日咧完成咗今日嘅課堂啦。咁未做完嘅唔緊要啊，之後可以繼續翻去做，同埋咧留意翻今日所有嘅小老師同埋助教咧都係 DBS PD 嘅同學仔啦，你哋翻到學校咧可以見到佢哋嘅，咁你哋可以喺小息啊、落堂轉堂時間，大家多啲討論啦。 咁咧 make sure 你哋咧就培養呢個即係求知解難嘅一個興趣啦，同埋未來嘅世界咧，其實咧就係唔係睇你讀幾多書，反而睇你解難嘅能力啦，同埋有冇一個創造力咁好重要。咁希望同學仔咧今日父母身邊支持啦。咁如果你哋今日覺得學到一啲好重要嘅知識係開心嘅話咧，請你喺個 chat room 嗰度咧俾個 like。咁啊多謝阿 Kingsley 同埋佢屋企人啦，同埋今日嘅所有助教啦。咁呢度咧我就再讀多次佢哋所有同學仔個名因為佢哋每一個咧都做足功夫準備嘅。咁今日一啲都唔容易咁我揾一揾佢哋個名先因為咧個名好多咁我諗到點樣最快揾到啦，就喺個 break room 嗰度讀佢哋嘅名出嚟，包括有 Jenkin 啦、Marcus 啦、Carrick 啦、Cyrus 啦、James 啦，同埋Micah 嘅。咁好多謝佢哋。咁留意翻今日咧，我哋咧雖然咧係呢個飛機即係太空宇宙飛機係打機啦，咁但係咧我哋實際教緊嘅咧唔係叫同學仔打機，希望你哋咧由透過創造呢啲小遊戲當中，知道背後嘅原理咧，可能會離開打機啦即係唔中意打機啦，因為你會發覺咧，原來呢啲怪獸咧點樣飛出嚟咧，背後嘅原理咧係咁樣，咁反而你咧就相對會冇咁中意打機好嘛。咁呢個咧好重要希望大家留意。咁我咧就想最撈尾咧講多2分鐘咧。就係一個簡單嘅介紹啦。咁咧就大家見到個畫面咧，係啦，應該見到呢個畫面係啦。咁你見到咧呢個咧其實咧就係我哋 HoCHK 嘅畫面啦。咁我哋咧其實咧早前咧其實都舉辦咗好多嘅活動噶啦。咁如果你去上網睇下我哋嘅album 咧，咁你見到我哋咧其實喺商場啦，喺香港唔同地方嘅商場舉辦好多課堂啦。當中咧我哋有多啲大學生啦，大哥哥大姐姐咧就去即係上堂啦。咁亦都係做過好多嘅活動噶啦。咁坊間咧，我哋都希望俾大家睇到咧，其實咧無論大朋友小朋友咧，其實都係好合適一齊去認識呢個創科世界嘅。咁如果大家有興趣咧，可以上網睇多啲資訊啦咁我哋咧都唔講太多啦。相信你會見到今日嘅大學校長啦，唔同界別嘅人士咧都話俾大家知咧，其實程式好重要。等於今日我哋寫一篇文。咁喺篇文入邊咧，我哋見到咧，大家寫嗰啲句子喺邊啲地方寫得冇咁好咧，我哋可以改良啦。咁如果大家覺得今日咧學到嘢嘅話咧，咁你上網咧就去睇一睇呢個即係 HoCHK 嘅網站啦，有 YouTube channel， 記得 subscribe。咁呢個 subscribe 咧網入邊咧其實有好多唔同嘅片段。咁我呢個咧就好快講一講我哋其實最近做咗一啲嘅課堂啦。你見到包括 Joseph 啦，有啲 Angel 啦，咁我哋入邊嘅課堂咧其實係好千變萬化嘅，咁所以咧，我呢個咧就希望咧就係去俾大家睇，你等一等我哋睇一睇我哋咧最近有個幾好嘅 Robots 嘅課堂啦。咁我希望大家咧留意下啦，原來咧去寫程式咧，今日咧只係可唔可以等一等？OK 大家留意下啦。咁我哋咧見到咧，其實咧有好多唔同嘅課堂嘅。咁原來你今日去學習緊寫緊嘅呢個Scratch 咧，只係第一步。原來背後咧有好多好好嘅內容。今日嘅課堂咧留意到咧。係見到Kingsley 同埋啲同學仔咧一齊諗出嚟，咁我嘅參與其實好少嘅，咁所以希望同學仔咧留意到，如果你哋中意寫程式嘅話咧，今日做緊嘅咧都係 blocky 嘅程式，咁但係今日真正嘅世界咧，其實全部咧都係呢啲一句句嘅程式代碼，等於你哋咧去，你等等 Raiden 爸爸可唔可以講埋嘢先得唔得？O 唔 OK 啊？你可唔可以靜啲啊 ？OK 好，咁大家見到咧，原來今日我哋寫程式咧，其實都一句一句去寫嘅。咁希望你哋見到咧，原來真真正正去做呢啲程式出嚟咧，其實都係好有趣喎。譬如你見到咧，呢度有個例子咧，其實就係去做一個彩虹魚啦咁你見到呢個係我自己小朋友阿 Racy 啦，咁佢都係今年都係8歲咁我哋見到咧，其實寫程式咧就冇分年齡嘅，等於你去學英文，你會唔會話一個6歲嘅小朋友學英文太早咧？其實個重點咧就係反而你會唔會即係享受去打字啦？咁你透過寫啲程式咧，你見到可以做一個你見到入邊喺度落緊雨啦，呢個一個例子啦。咁如果你一路去做少少嘅變化，咁今日咧其實大家咧去學習緊呢個過程當中咧，都係做緊呢個過程，慢慢去變化，慢慢去見到自己想做嘅結果。咁當中咧，我哋之後嘅程式世界咧就唔係再拉 block 噶啦，就係去打呢啲程式嘅代碼。咁咧其實個意思咧就 Raiden 好，咁我哋咧就係講緊咧，唔係去到底係邊一種語言嘅，係好重要。即係等於你今日到底係學西班牙文咧，定係學日文先咧？其實學邊種語言都唔係太緊要，反而咧就係你要學好一種語言先。咁所以建議同學仔咧就俾心機去學好啦。咁當你一路做嘅時間咧，其實就會有更加多嘅變化。咁你會見到咧好多好有趣嘅程式代碼咧，其實都係透過你好努力咧去一步一步寫出嚟。咁透過呢個程式，你見到咧只係用半個鐘頭嘅時間咧，其實已經可以變一啲好有趣嘅彩虹魚啦， 你會見到咧，其實全部嘅程式代碼咧，好似呢一個程式咧，其實只係講緊係20行代碼，你就可以寫到出嚟噶啦。咁所以希望同學仔咧，今日如果你哋覺得係學得好有用嘅話咧，咁咧就請你哋咧可以得到你哋屋企人嘅支持啦。咁網上咧，我哋其實有好多唔同嘅一啲 playlist。如果你哋想上網睇翻今日Kingsley 嘅相關嘅課堂咧，你上網一揾咧已經揾到好多佢嘅片段噶啦。如果你想揾Marcus 咁你都揾到佢嘅課堂。如果你想揾Jenkin，咁你都會揾到 Jenkin 嘅課堂。咁我哋相信咧喺南百附屬小學嘅同學仔咧，你哋個個咧都係出類拔萃噶啦，都係好叻嘅。咁相信你哋咧就可以知道自己其實之後有啲咩可以做。記住，我哋所做嘅工作咧，其實喺香港咧就係一個小眾，但我哋希望咧有你哋嘅支持咧，我哋可以一路發展落去。咁喺今日咧，再一次多謝我哋所有嘅參與者啦。今日8號風球香港咧就係喺 Under Covid 有呢個8號風球，我哋咧都有100個同學仔上堂喺呢度。最後再一次多謝學校嘅校長老師同埋家教會支持我哋今日活動。咁我將時間咧睇下 Kingsley 或者佢嘅爸爸媽媽有冇嘅補充啦，或者我哋今日講大家覺得點啊？開唔開心啊？學咗咁多嘢，中唔中意啊？有冇用啊？俾個 like 我哋好唔好啊？影張大合照好唔好啊？大家咁開心，係啦，哇，好好啊！見到Taylor 呢個我哋喺數學入邊咧有個叫 Taylor Cyrus 嘅喎，好重要啊！咁如果咧我哋大家留意到，我哋今日學緊 sin cos 咧，如果冇記錯咧 sin cos 好似
想講多一樣嘢咧，有一個demo 咧，如果你想 check out 嘅話，可以有條 link 俾你哋㗎。
你 send 個條 link。好啊，咁我哋就係啦，咁我哋
可以睇翻啲code，今日學習嚟嘅 code，仲有啲sound effects 嗰啲嘢extra。
好，唔該晒。好，咁我哋咧就放翻條 YouTube 嘅 channel，大家可以睇一睇啦。咁咧好，今日嘅課堂咧就 overrun 咗20分鐘唔好意思。咁嚟緊咧，我哋會有好多活動咁如果今日同學仔有興趣嘅話咧，可以聯絡Kingsley 啦。咁我哋咧有個家長群組嘅咁我哋咧有個家長群組，歡迎咧今日嘅同學仔嘅家長咧加入嘅今日嘅課堂去到呢度，去到尾聲啦。我知大家都好唔捨得啦。咁之後遲啲再見咯，好唔好啊？多謝大家。好，影張相我哋，不如影張相啦，咁開心咁多人大家試一試Wesley過嚟啦。今日咧我有兩個小朋友，我兩個小朋友今日都好開心快啲一齊影張相啦，我哋好，大家笑一笑係好好阿 Marcus 提一提，大家笑下，比較燦爛嘅笑容，Wesley見唔到你好耶，俾個 like 我哋耶，1、2、3 ，Wesley 見唔到你，快啲遲啲，好1、2、3耶，好見到啦，好，哇！我一定咁頭先咧好好阿 Marcus 提我哋咧要講埋我哋個 meet up page 咁我提一提啦，我哋有個 meet up page 咁咧就係 meet up 係啦，咁咧就揾翻攞多少少Hour of Code Hong Kong 咁入邊咧我哋會擺我哋嗰啲嚟緊嘅活動啦，咁我哋啲課堂完全免費嘅，咁留意翻，因為我係大學老師啦，咁我咧就唔會出邊咧搞呢啲任何 coding 嘅活動，所以我哋活動咧全部都免費嘅，咁記住咯，大家留意好，今日活動咧去到呢度啦，遲啲再見啦 ，OK， 好，拜拜，我哋開心今日，開心不過你好活躍爸爸講嘢你要整停我講嘢，好，拜拜。